After that last short episode, we are now going to start the year 1938. Well, let's get the yearly decisions out of the way. Again, I'm going for economic spying because extra spies could be useful, but I don't use them heavily. Political spying, naval intelligence. I just don't use these in my playstyle. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't, but I just like that bonus right now. Annual national focus. We are still going to do this. Reich economics. We will be moving over to this as we get prepared for the war. But right now, Reich economics I think will help us the best. Economic boost, we're going to go long term. And the first Brandenburg Commando unit. Very little information, well, very little photos, shall we say, because I have searched extensively for verifiable photos from the Brandenburg units. And the one that you saw there is one of the absolute very fewest I've been able to find. And okay, so now we have two choices, mining or farm mechanization. Okay, mining, oil, energy, metal. We don't really need energy at all. Metal could be useful. Farm mechanization or agricultural industry. Manpower. Because we're not building up our manpower that much, though this is going to hurt it here. We're going to go to try to continue to do a little better improvement for crude oil. So we're going to increase our mining capabilities. And also our national recruiting policies again. I prefer the balanced approach. Power effect and our mining effect. Gasoline engines have increased. We will stop that. Currently we're all fill up with slots, so we will be. We've stolen some Italian blueprints. Good. That's one of the things we wanted to do. Nav ground crew training level is to 2 now. So we're going to go back fighter pilot training here. Oh, somebody got our blueprints. fighting vehicle tracks have improved. This allows us to increase medium armor designs. We're pushing along on this because we want to get to here early enough to research that. Artillery unit command and control is also. We still need to increase this up a bit here. The training levels. Those combined arms effects are very powerful. Okay, small arms advance. The Bloomberg-Fritsch affair. Bit of a trumped up charges, including some libelous and incorrect charges in this thing, but it basically wrecked independent military command within Germany. I know generally thought to be a good philosophy to have civilian control over the military, but it depends on what kind of civilian control you might be having. So there's going too much dissent. I'm not going to go down this ahistorical path, so we're going to do this one. Brado long distance flight for that type of aircraft here. We will make the flight. It will help us a little bit on some research. You see, flying all the way the longest leg from Libya to India there. That's a very long single flight. The Reich Chancellery. We're going to have Speer continue to work on this here. Manpower back in the pool. Artillery brigades advance. So we're going to increase our motorized research there. What event has arose? Reorganization of the Luftwaffe structure. This is a little bit of a pain to have to redo this periodically, but I ultimately want to get to the more efficient later versions of it, so we're going to go with this. Clears out some excess units. And we're keeping Goering happy by promoting to General Field Marshal. And we're coming to the very important Anschluss of Austria. Was there a reason for Austria to even exist at this time period? Austria had been part of the Holy Roman Empire. The Habsburgs for a long time had been the emperors of the Holy Roman Empire. It was the rise of the Hohenzollerns up here in Prussia that with Bismarck sort of pushed the Austrians, or the Habsburgs I should say, out of what was the Holy Roman Empire and formed the German Empire. So with doing that, it really focused the Habsburgs on their non-German territories with the Austro-Hungarian empires. But at this time there was no Austro-Hungarian empires anymore, and should Catholic Germans be separated from Protestant Germans, or should they all be unified? As a nation, there was Germany, but there were multiple countries, one being Germany, the other being Austria, which countries and nations are different things. It really became popular that most Austrians wanted to join the new Germany. There were holdouts because there were sort of Austrian Anschluss. There were holdouts that weren't Nazis and didn't want to join a Nazi regime, but they were generally fairly far right in Austria anyways. And so the reason for the country as an independent country disappeared. Sort of the reason for the country post World War II reappeared for a couple of reasons. One of them was dealing with the Russians and partitioning, and the Americans dealing with them, so they reformed Austria, and it's sort of like now become, its own thing. And I don't know whether there will develop a Austrian nation as opposed to a country. And with the modern thing, it's like there was the German nation, but East Germany and West Germany use their short colloquial names: Federal Republic Germany and Deutsches Demokratische Republik. If I'm not butchering that too badly. And so those were two countries as part of one nation. Is Austria going to remain independent long enough to develop its own separate cultural identities apart from being German? Time will tell, or whether that's just another German country there. So, but saying all that, there was still very much, which Third Reich Events haven't gone into any detail yet, but there was a big German push of propaganda of Nazi Party activities in Austria, including assassinations of people, and the SS units that were operating in there were, in essence, terrorist type units. They weren't just your uniformed party people that marched in the street and did street battles with communists and things. They were pretty militaristic. So it was definitely an engineered thing, though I think ultimately popular with the Austrians at the time. So we will go with that now, since we have that capability. You can read some more of the details here. This will increase our power, and yes, I want to have the historical divisions that inherit instead of just purely inheriting the manpower. So change the view back and forth like that. Let's go to the screen and then come back. Well, maybe wait a second. Just want to. Yeah, there we go. Turn that on. Okay. I don't want to try to pronounce his name, but one of the major leading Yugoslav figures has come up to visit us, trying to promote a National Socialist Fascist alliance here with Yugoslavia. Okay, give them money for rare materials, yes. We've just inherited a bunch more factories, so we will need that. And take a quick look at the nation here that we've just inherited. You can see the various factories we've gained there. Red resources, they're going to quickly rebuild. And the military forces there. This will also increase our pool of generals, increase our leadership. So let's see what would be a good thing for now in 38 here. we're going to increase our base and capabilities here. There are some units out of supply just because the supply hasn't been organized up yet. Air Force HQ advance. We're going to leave this going. I know it's a sort of a year ahead, but it's not a major penalty here. Yes, we want this. Give us two more Flieger Corps to help organize our forces. We will be doing that later on. Another heavy cannon. Where we're going to supply production advance. Very good. This will increase our production capabilities here. As you see, it's 100% more supply production level than what would be base. Increase research for motorized HQs. Core HQs. Oh, somebody got away with our blueprints. Oil refining advance. Good. As you see, 120% more efficient. And single engine fighter prototypes that have advanced as well. So we're going to increase our close air support with that. I want to continue trying to build up our nation as well as so the earlier you get these types of things, the more ultimate long-term effects they will have. So we're pushing ahead with this SDP party membership, basically identity paperwork here. Cover shows examples, mostly just for historical interest to see what it would have looked like. I find, as an American, I find it very interesting that people carried around political party membership things that had your photo in it, and you put in stamps to show that you're making your dues payments and all these things for all these organizations, not just one, part of your papers please situation. I find this fascinating because we just don't have things like that here. We have a driver's license or a state ID that sort of does this. Beyond that, we don't have things with our photos in them that we carry around. Steel production has increased. And let's see, we can, our industry has come up. Good. I'm going to move those to the top because they are my highest priority right now, is to get those up and going. And mass events have advanced as well. Right here. So we're going to stop that. That will balance it back out. Basic education. So help with a little bit of manpower, lose a little of ICs, but it will help trigger effects later on down the path. Infantry guns have advanced. We want to continue to develop our ground forces as well. Different nations have different priorities. Nations like Britain and Japan need to develop navies, but Germany can also use a decent navy, but should not heavily focus on it. Medium fuel tank reserve, giving us level 3 here, so that would be this one, so we won't have to research it to get the next boost. So that was very helpful. And let's see, we will improved fighter bomber prototypes. The yearly Berlin Auto Exposition here. Show off our good automotive engineering and check out everybody else's. Reichstag speech. This particular speech was very threatening to Czechoslovakia and other potential countries in our neighborhood. So they're a little more upset with us. Just what kind of things do we think we're doing? Broadcasting advance. We're going to increase our radio technology. You can see we got a lot of stuff under production here. We'll need to look at some of the factories to increase that, but also because we have increased descent levels because of trying to incorporate Austria into our nation. We're going to bump that up some. Oh, we didn't need to do that. Now, we're going to start building also our naval practicals up a bit. We'll build some coastal submarines. As well. These will all help build up practicals. Particularly these are very short-term production levels. I want to increase our motorized anti-air. These will eventually, once they're upgraded enough, will become the Flak 88s. That will be good tank killers. And yes, I want to quickly take a look at our industrial production of industries. These are the targeted provinces that should be, but it doesn't have. Okay, it doesn't really look like it at the moment. So we're going to keep things sort of out of the easy bombing ranges from Britain. A little bit of dispersal here. Then I'm going to move all of these down. Put the industries here up with the others. Coal processing technology is advanced. Well, we need this more for the broad development of our industry than needing any more coal. Because there are some effects that only trigger if you have enough development. research the SSHQs. IG Farben, a very large chemical production company, which includes medicines like Bayer aspirin, which is still on sale today. Nice color graphic of their major headquarters there. We will increase our investment with them. Oh wow, let's see, some games I seem to get a lot of steals of technology, other ones I don't. Amphibious invasion focus, so we've just got that, which will help our research out some. We were researching that. No, we weren't researching that, I guess. There. So that just was a total free gift. Let's see, nothing new. Improved motorized support units there. Okay. Establish the undersea boat Schul flotilla here in Lübeck. This is because this event is triggered because we expanded things earlier, and we're going to move this one. This little unit comes with standard BlackICE. Should be here though. That's where it had been historically, and we've expanded the flotilla by one more squadron there. At the automobile show this year in 1938, Hannah Reich flies indoors a helicopter for the first time. Not the first time flying a helicopter, but the first time flying one indoors. In a very large exhibit hall, she takes it up and flies it around. Germany had these sort of strange helicopters that were powered by an engine in front, sort of like with a, at this time, airplane fuselage with two props here, and using a normal sort of tail, well, somewhat adjusted normal tail, airplane tail, to keep the aircraft from spinning around. So, Anna Reich, unrepentant Nazi, but an excellent pilot. Infantry support weapons have increased. We're going to improve our security units. This will be a critical thing ultimately later on for reducing revolt risk in regions. Okay, study for level 2. Naval HQ is also. Yes, we want to do that. Got another historical HQ here. Attach it to the overall Kriegsmarine. For a good naval commander here. That's good. So now we have an increased infrastructure for our Navy. Oh, Soviet Union has decided the third Moscow show trials. They haven't killed enough of their bloc rightist and Trotskyites, you know. To only be a Trotskyite communist isn't enough. You have to be a Stalinist, complete mass murderer, desiring kind of person. Money for fuel, no, that's, I don't like when these things pop up. They're just unuseful. Okay, that'll be it for this playthrough session of BlackICE. I hope you've all enjoyed this. And we'll keep things moving along here very shortly. Thank you.